Mic check, 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Test. Test. No. You can hear me? Where's the AV guy? You're the AV guy? Test. Yeah. We're trying to figure out this fucking... I know. That's why we haven't figured it out. You gotta, are you in mirror mode? You gotta be in mirror mode. Can you extend? Like that before? Oh. Okay. Hey everyone, I'd like to acknowledge something important about this quarterly meeting. We have 200 plus people at this meeting, which has been the biggest, a record amount of attendees. So kudos to everybody for showing up. And to those people who are on the live feed, I think that's a great feature we added. Thanks a lot, Deb. My name is Arjun Joseph. I'm the Division Manager of Engineering and Technical Services. I'd like to introduce myself and welcome you all to the quarterly meeting. So let me just run through the agenda. I'm doing the introduction, and then next is Wes, who will be talking about safety and HSE. Al Downey, who I believe is here, will be doing the tool room updates. And then my colleagues, Greg and Ryan, will be doing a presentation that we're very excited about. Following that, Huma will be doing a HR update. And then Chuck will follow with a closing, some closing remarks. So excited for this presentation. You know, my team has worked very hard on it. And yeah, Wes, you're up. Huh?
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me just move this ahead. Okay, another technical difficulty. Why isn't this moving ahead, boys? That's backwards. I don't know how to speak backwards, so I'm not going to even try. I could just say the end and thank you very much. You could all applaud. Look at that, eh? Huh? Oh, okay.
I'm misinformed.
Oh, okay, so it's your fault. That's okay. Anyway, good day. So, health and safety. As always, I truly appreciate the opportunity to stand up here in front of you. It's nice seeing some faces that I don't get to see on a regular basis. So my agenda, going to talk about parking lot safety, go through some statistics and some injury trends. I want to plant some ideas in your head. Going to talk a little bit about the urgent triage program, just to remind you what it's about and why we have it. And of course, you know, if you see something, say something. Core 2020, which we just finally finished our internal audit, which is great. And of course, Canada's Safest Employer Award. Got some nice stuff to share about that. So the safety moment, parking lot safety. Now the reason I chose this is on one of our projects, not in this region, we had a gentleman exiting his personal pickup truck on Monday. And he had his boots untied, got out of his truck, tripped over his laces, fell and broke his ankle. We do it all the time, right? We get in and out of our trucks, get in and out of our cars, I don't know, half a dozen times a day. We're all in parking lots. They can create some really interesting hazards, and it's something that really we take for granted. So the reason I picked this one, of course, was because of that event. And every year, when the snow starts to fall, the ice gets accumulating, you know, historically we've had one or two of these slip and fall events. So trying to get some ideas, get you to look forward, thinking of stuff that, you know, your own activities when you're getting in and out of your vehicles. So do parking lots present or pose special hazards? Sure, even though they may not be conducting, or even though you may not be conducting your job in a parking lot, there's still the possibility that you could be injured walking to and from your vehicle, specifically slips, trips, and falls. What factors contribute to fall incidents in a parking lot? Certainly the heavy use by pedestrians and vehicle traffic, weather conditions, general wear and tear can lead to deterioration of the parking lot surfaces and resulting in various hazards. How to mitigate these hazards in a parking lot? To keep them safe, ensure there is adequate lighting, general housekeeping is conducted, and that there are clear marking of steps, ramps, curbs, speed bumps, and other elevation changes. Also verify that the drains or grates are cleared from debris and avoid flooding, and that the area is plowed and sanded in the winter months. Parking lots, driveways, laneways, sidewalks should always be included during your monthly workplace inspection. So what responsibilities do workers have in parking lots? Well, safety is everybody's duty. So workers, so much as employers should do, be aware of your surroundings, continuously scan and watch for cars and then other fall hazards. Never assume that the driver will see you. Clean or report spills right away. Clear away clutter and debris if possible. Wear appropriate footwear for the situation. Report hazardous conditions to your supervisors. And remain vigilant, and remember that falls can happen anywhere, anytime. And one thing that we tend to do on our construction sites is we want to make these parking lots PPE-free zones. So if you're going to declare an area, whether it be parking lot, a walkway, or anything, PPE-free zone, that means you're wearing street shoes. So you got to make sure that you prepare it as such. It needs to be as smooth as the floor in here. You can't just decide to make an area PPE-free just because you don't want to have to wear your work boots, etc. in the area. You have to make sure you take the time and prepare it. So I got a little video to show you related to this safety moment. And hopefully it'll work. My young colleagues here, there we go, perfect.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to SFM Sports, where we've got the latest in winter safety highlights.
This past week, we got a masterclass in how to walk through snowy, icy parking lots. Take a look at these players and how they move. Short, slow, flat-footed steps keep them above the competition.
They're focused, and they've got their eyes on the prize, and on the path ahead of them.
Take a look at that control as John steps down, not out of his car. He keeps his hands on the door frame for stability and firmly plants both feet on the ground, maintaining 3 points of contact at all times.
Just beautiful.
Now this is what I call preparing for the big game. Look at how he's freeing up his hands to give himself more control when he has to face down that ice waiting for him in the parking lot.
Now, who doesn't love seeing an underdog succeed? Take a look at Dana's shoes as she's getting out of the car.
This is a critical miss. Those shoes are not going to provide proper traction.
Temperatures have been fluctuating and a lot of the snow has melted, but it's gotten cold enough that it's refrozen.
But look now how she's sliding her foot across the ground to check for slickness and looking around to check her surroundings.
Now she's changing into winter boots with a thick sole and a non-slip tread, and she's getting her head in the game. What a comeback! Lee's closing in on the home stretch here, but oh, watch out for the threat coming in from the side.
That shortcut could cause a serious injury, but oh man, what a dodge. Take another look at that masterful escape.
And he could go all the way!
Next, take note of how John skirts around that patch of ice so he doesn't slip.
Now as he makes it into the building, he stops to grab a scoop of salt from the available bag.
Then, being sure to play a strong defense, steps down, not out on the stairs, and makes his way back to the ice. He saw the danger and went to give an assist to his teammates.
That's what I call a team player.
We caught up with a few players after the game to hear what they had to say about their stellar performances.
Well, I couldn't do it without my awesome boots, and I take it one step at a time and walk like a penguin.
Just out there walking for my family. I have 2 kids at home, and I just wanted to win this one for them.
I really didn't think about the ice. I just focused on myself. At the end of the day, the ice did its job, and I did mine.
Little corny, but but you know, it does hit the point, right? All simple stuff. Oh, sorry. All simple stuff. Thank you. I'm used to a lapel mic, sorry. Simple stuff, but you know, if you really take a couple extra minutes, think what you're doing all the time. That's what prevents incidents, right? So, you know, it wouldn't be a safety presentation without some statistics because, you know, when we talk about statistics, it's colleagues, friends, peers getting injured in the workplace, and it's also the way we're measured. We're measured by corporate, we're measured by our clients. You know, they want to know how you're doing, they want to know what you're doing to keep your incidents down. So, you know, this year it's been a pretty active year as far as work hours go. As you see, from January to the end of October, we're all, you know, 734,000 man hours. Like, that is a lot of activity for this region, which is great to see. In the fiscal year, which we just ended on Halloween, we're sitting at 855,000 man hours. But, you know, we've had a recordable incident, 7 of them. You know, in the fiscal year, you know, it gives us a total recordable incident rate of 1.64, but our target is 1. One is one incident for every 200,000 man hours, but it's also, again, one of our colleagues getting hurt. So it's focus on what we're doing is what keeps these incidents down. I also wanted to share Northeast U.S. because they are part of Southern Ontario Utility Region, and you see for this year, and they've had a pretty active year. Fiscal year, they're sitting at 120,000 man hours and have had 1 modified duty event and no first aid. So their overall incident rate, which includes recordable incidents and first aids, is well below the target of 1.44, which is a really good effort. They had that 1 medical aid incident this year, and it was a slip and fall in a parking area. So, you know, comes full circle with the safety moment. Entera, you know, they are part of BlackandMacdonald. They do a lot of work on our sites. We do have a lot of friends and colleagues at Entera, and you can see they're having a great year, really, as far as the work activity goes and their incident rate. They've had a really good year, and we know their work is no different than ours. You know, they're in the trenches, they're doing line work, they're doing the same activity as us, and with their focus, they've managed to keep their rates down, which is really good to see. So when we report to the corporate group, we report all 3 of the groups that I've mentioned. So when you combine us, and you know, I want to talk about fiscal year because that's how we're getting measured. You can see with the groups, we're at 1.7 million man-hours. It's like, holy shit, man, that's a lot of work, right? And it's a lot of employees, too. A standard work year is 2,080 hours. So if you divide 2,080 into 1.7 million, you're talking like 900 workers, right? So that's a lot of people being employed by the activity we're doing. It's really great to see. It's nice to see the company still doing what it's doing. But again, when you combine the groups and with that large amount of hours, it gets our frequency down because it is a mathematical calculation. But again, we're sitting at 10 recordable incidents, 5 modified duty events, and 5 medical aid events. So focus is what is going to bring those incidents down. So the next 3 slides I want you to look at, and I want you to think about them after I'm finished and see where they sit and where it sits with you when you're working. So this first one here shows you that the incident trends in Southern Ontario is Thursdays is the day when we see the most incidents. Just before the start of this meeting, I was told of an incident that happened today. Again, on a Thursday, right? For a lot of us, Thursday is our Friday in the utilities. So, you know, why are we having these events on Thursday? Thursday should be the good day, the end of the week, taking pride in all the good work that you've done this week, looking forward to a longer weekend. The next slide shows you the incidents by the hour of the day. So this one here shows you that we're seeing these events in the afternoon. So Thursday, it's the end of the week, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're getting near the end of the day, right? So where are we? Thinking about what we're doing, or are we thinking about what we're doing on the way home, or on Friday or Saturday? And now this slide talks about the factors that are related to the causes of these incidents. So the basic cause is the first one at the top. Improper attempt to save time or effort, right? Could be construed to say a shortcut maybe, or, you know, it'll just be a second if I do this. Takes you away from your focus. Substandard acts or failure to identify hazards and risks. This might not only just take a second. This heavy plate, well, I know I lifted it last week, so I can just grab it and lift it right now, and I'll just do my thing. And then, oh shit, I hurt my back, right? You know, taking extra time. Inadequate preparation and planning. You know, you do need to plan your work steps, right? You know, everybody knows yourself when you have a well-planned job, everything goes right, you know? You take that extra time to plan your work. It goes good for production, quality, safety, most importantly, right? So the prevention, and again, you know, the day of the week, the time of the day, some of the stuff that gets missed because we're doing this stuff at the end of our week is you really want to plan your work and work your plan, right? Take the time to really put the effort into a proper work plan, identifying hazards, controls, making sure you have the tools that you need, and you're good to go. Members of the crew, most of in here are members of teams. Make sure you take the time to ask questions if you're not sure. Can I get that for you? Or not sure whose phone it is, but do me a favor and mute it, would you? So again, make sure you ask questions. Don't run out, you know, somebody asks you to do a task, make sure you understand it. It's better to take that extra time to ask that question. And then most importantly, when conditions change, stop. Stop the work activity, stand back, have a second look, and make sure that you're well prepared to do the job. We haven't used this term for quite some time, this last minute risk assessment. But really, that's the last line of defense for you when you're going to do something, right? Thinking about what could happen, what's the worst thing can happen before I go and do something. Going to drill a hole through a wall. Have I got myself set up, holding the drill properly? Do I know what's behind the wall before I sink that drill into the wall? Just, you know, a quick check so then you know you're good to go. So, and like again, have a look at this and think about this last minute risk assessment. When you're on your own, you know, you're your own safety professional, right? You're your own foreman when you're working by yourself, right? You're the guys in total control of your work activity when you're doing it yourself, right? And if you're working with a partner, got to communicate, make sure you guys talk back and forth, and make sure you both understand what the other one's going to do in order to make that task successful. Sound good? Pretty basic? You know, our basic tool for this is the pre-job, right? And the tailboard, it's a tool. It's not a task. As long as you consider the tailboard as a tool to remind you, list out your work steps, identify the hazards, make sure you implement the appropriate controls, and the next time I'm reporting here about statistics, you'll see a lot of zeros on the board instead of numbers, right? And really, don't lose sight of the big picture when it comes to pre-jobs. Again, it's not a task, it's a tool, right? And it's something that needs to be used. We have why do you think we have the mid-shift review on our pre-jobs? Because I just showed you why. The majority of the incidents are happening in the afternoon. So when you stop for lunch, that's your opportunity to have a look and talk about what you're going to do to finish off the rest of the day. Okay? Make sense? I hope so. So, urgent triage. Did everybody know about the urgent triage program? A show of hands, because I can't read minds. Not a very good show of hands, so that means that's not being well communicated. This poster is on every supervisor call that we do, part of the minutes that are supposed to be getting shared with all you workers. And what this program is, it's an on-call nurse ready to help you if somebody gets hurt on the job. You give her a call, she'll talk to you, and she'll help you make the decision on whether you just need first aid treatment or you need to go to a hospital and get checked out. And if you do need to go to the hospital, she will send a report to your foreman on his phone, and he can take that to the hospital and show it to the triage nurse there. And they're obligated to take it and read it. So that helps you jump the queue, helps you get the treatment that you need right away quick. So this urgent triage program is not to prevent anybody from seeking medical attention. It's to prevent getting you the right guidance that you need before you go rushing off. There might be an opportunity you might just need some first aids, whatever she will guide you on. And again, if it's something that you do need medical attention for, she will give you the right advice. She can give you a report that you can take to the hospital or doctor's office, and then you'll get the right treatment, right? And it's all there to make it easier, better, and make sure that you're well looked after. So that's why I started using this program. So far, I believe it's been a success. I've talked to a few that have used it, and we're going to continue on using it, and we're going to add it to our project safety plan as well as part of that template, so it'll always be there available for you. Now this, be alert. If you see something, say something. You saw it on the video there. The gentleman walked by some ice, went in the building, grabbed some salt, went outside, addressed that hazard, right? If the hazard's in your control, you should do something about it. And if it's not within your control, identify it. Get a cone, mark it, talk to somebody, whoever site it is, get them to take care of it. But you got to share what the problem is. Now, Core 2020. So everybody in this room has, at one time or another, participated in the core audit. We've been doing our internal audits. We've been maintaining our core, and this year we did an internal audit using a new template, Core 2020. Next year, we're having an external auditor, but this year we decided to try the new program to see how we fit. So when we first went through the audit, we did have some challenges, and I'm glad we did it as an internal audit, because for some of the stuff we didn't make the grade for this new program. This Core 2020 is an elevated audit against the safety management system, and there's some stuff that we needed to tweak within our program, and it's given us an opportunity to get it done. And at the end of the day, we have a corrective action plan that was approved by the IHSA. We got our letter in good standing, and we're good to go. Now we're just working on choosing our new external auditor. But you're also going to see requests to do some training, go on Litmus. You might see some requests to go on a SurveyMonkey to review some of the new and updated policies and procedures that we've had to add into our program to meet this new model. And of course, the intent of all this stuff is to make a better safety program and improve safety in the field. So stay tuned for more good stuff on that. Now, I think this is the last thing for me. You'll all be glad for that. Canada's Safest Employer. 3rd year in a row we've won it. A majority of you in the room here participated in the Safety Climate Survey. I sent out a few emails asking people to get in there, do the survey, and your participation helps them score who Black & MacDonald is. And the fact that we've won 3 years in a row, I think, is a real testimony to the people in this room, your participation in the survey, but also your participation in the safety program, because they look at all three of those components to decide who is the safest employer in Canada, and it is in Canada. So I would say give yourselves a hand for a great job. And the last thing for me is join in the drive for zero incidents, right? Remember, nobody gets hurt today or tomorrow. Thank you. Al, it's all yours. Just talk into it.
No, that thing, this thing.
You push the down arrow. Yes. Watch you start.
How's everyone doing? I probably know most of you guys. For those I don't, my name's Al Downey. I'm the toolroom manager at Pullman Court. I'm just here to go over some procedures as far as how tools are going to be signed out, mostly in regards to vehicles. There's been some concerns from division managers. Guys just showing up, asking for tools without approval, and then division managers get hit with the bill, and sometimes they're not too happy about that. So as of Monday, I guess I'll go over there, we want to try and eliminate all walk-in orders for the tool room. One, it's very distracting for us. We're busy, and that buzzer goes every 10 minutes, and it's distracting. So trying to stay away from that. So we want to have the division managers assign a person that the workers can send a request to, who will filter that to the tool room. We'll pull the order, and then we'll contact you guys to let you know that the order is ready to be pulled up. All the orders should go to the tool room at BlackandMacdonald.com. Don't just send it to Heather or send it to myself, because Heather's not always there, and it could be missed. If it goes there, I see it, Heather sees it, and Ben will see it, so someone will be able to print it off and get it pulled out for you guys. I know it's not always possible. We want to try and get orders in. Give us like 2 days for the orders to be pulled, especially if they're bigger orders. I know sometimes if you have a broken tool, like that's kind of a, you need it now type thing. So, shut off here. Yeah, so if you need a broken tool, but it still needs to be, like, don't just show up. It still needs to be approved by the division manager, especially if it's an expensive tool. So basically, once the tool is assigned to a vehicle, is now owned by the division. So these assets should not be returned to the tool room. If they are, credits won't be given. So we just hold on to it. If it's damaged, then just toss it, and we'll get you a new one. So tools that are being assigned to a job, same submittal process. Please send your recs into whoever is going to be approve it, and they'll send it to us. Again, we'll contact you when it's ready. These tools, so tools that are assigned to a job aren't owned by the division. They're still owned by the tool room. So we'll be doing an audit every quarter, sorry. Once the audit is complete, any tools we can't find on site, you'll have 30 days to reconcile that with the tool room. That can be done either by photo, just email a photo to the tool room, and then we'll mark it as found. Anything that's not found after 30 days will be charged to the job that it was assigned to. If you guys want to transfer tools from one job to another, again, the Hilti tag will have to, or picture of the Hilti tag will have to be sent to the tool room before any transfer are made, so that way we know we're not just transferring lost tools from one job to the next. If it's a big transfer and it's a lot of tools, we can always send out Heron, who's our tool room auditor. Most of you guys probably met him. He's probably come out and done your trucks once in a while. He can come out to site and do an audit on site, and then do the transfer. Then there, if it's a lot of stuff. If it's a couple of tools, it's just easier to send a picture of the Hilti tag. We can just transfer right there to the computer, and it's done. So I think I actually did miss one thing. This wasn't updated. Yeah, I don't think it was updated. So the division shouldn't be going out and buying tools that are less than $5,000. They should be run through the tool room. Regardless of what division buys, it's still an asset owned by BlackandMacdonald, and it should be uploaded into the Hilti system. They want to be able to track all assets that are owned by the company. Two, the Hilti system can also track annual certifications, which I think we get into later on, right here. So annual certifications again. So all of that information can be pulled up on the app if you guys have it. If you have a company phone, you can download the Hilti app. We can get you set up so you can log in, chain falls, harnesses, measuring equipment, whatever. We upload the annual certificates into Hilti so you can actually pull that up on your phone if you ever need it at a pinch. If you guys don't know how to do that, there is PowerPoint presentations I can send out for you guys to see how to do that on your phones. When an asset is coming up for its annual, 28 days out, it'll send you an email saying that it's going to be due in 28 days. It'll get another one again when it expires. I think after it expires, you get one every Sunday. So to avoid the nuisance, you probably want to get it in and get it switched out. The items can be dropped off at the tool room. We'll send them out to where they need to go. I know some divisions do get them done elsewhere, so if they do, I just ask that you guys send a copy of the certification to us so we can upload it into Hilti, or we can show you how to do that on your own. It's pretty simple. And then annual certifications done through the tool room. We'll have a certification loaded into OnTrack. And that's it for me. Does anyone have any questions? Again, I just try to stay away from guys just showing up at the window and ordering tools and. Yep. That kind of division specific. It all depends on how you guys want. I know some divisions don't want anything over $2,000 assigned to a vehicle, but I mean, if it's something that the foreman needs on a regular basis, like whatever it is, if he uses it every day and it's always on his truck and he's going for multiple jobs, then it's hard to have it on a job number because you're just constantly going to be transferring it. If it's never coming back to the tool room, it's better off just assigning it right to the vehicle and paying that cost. But I mean, that's not all. If it's going to come back to the tool room one day, then yeah, you can just assign it. But there's no, you can even assign drills and stuff to a job if you need extra drills. Like if you have one drill for a truck, but you need 3 other drills for workers, then they can just be assigned to the job, but they have to come back to the tool room when the job's complete. Yes. So it'll show in Hilti, it'll show as owned by whatever division it was signed out to. Like I said, that shouldn't come back to the tool room unless it's scrap and you guys are exchanging it for a new one. Once it's signed to the truck, it belongs to the division and it's yours. Yeah, if it's a larger job where you have lots of workers and you need extra tools, then yeah, you can still sign stuff out to the jobs. It's just the stuff that, but even with the jobs, like we don't want guys just showing up and for one, we might not have what you want. So you just, if you're gonna drive all the way to Pullman Court for something we don't have it, you just wasted your time, right? So if we know ahead of time, we can let you know whether we have it or not, and then you can come pick it up. It is on the S drive under tool room, under the documents tab, but I can, if anyone needs a copy, just ask us and we'll just send you a copy of it. Yeah, back in February I sent out that email basically outlining what we just spoke about and yep, I can do that. So. Any other questions? Yep. So yeah, we'll handle the calibrations on everything. I mean, some of the stuff I know, like with in the 4205, like the large stuff, I know Sean kind of handles that. calibration with RepTam, but we spoke with Sean, and now when RepTam sends back the annual calibration, they CC the tool room on it, so we're able to upload that certificate into Hilti. But you guys, they still deal with that certification on their own. But if it's chain falls, harnesses, stuff like that, and you guys want us to do that, we can do that. Especially like some of the other ones, I know the more the fire resistant, stuff like that, more specialized, like regular harness and lanyards, they just go back to Brevasco to be inspected and come back. But the SRLs and all the winches and all that kind of stuff have to actually go out to, but they usually go back to the manufacturer. We send it out to someone who is like a middleman, but it's just easier if it's all just done through the tool room. That's it. Anybody else? That's it? Okay.
All right, made it up the stairs without wiping out, so we're doing well so far. Hey everybody, my name is Greg Simmons. I'm the engineering department manager, and this is Ryan Percival. He's the stations engineering supervisor. Today we're here to talk to you about the engineering and technical services rotational program. So we're going to change things up a little bit. I know we normally talk about interesting construction projects or some kind of construction challenge. But we're gonna talk today about our rotational program, more of an HR initiative. I gotta use the clicker. Look at me go. All right, so let's start by talking about our division structure, because this really comes into play on how we can make the rotational program work. So the engineering technical services division is kind of like an overarching umbrella. And it encompasses both 4 to 11, which is the engineering department, and 4 to 05, which we now call technical services, used to be field services. So within 4 to 11, we have stations engineering, and then we have distribution engineering. So stations engineering, we really do full greenfield and brownfield substation and power distribution engineering, really from the start to finish. We have full electrical capabilities in-house. Close to me? Good? All right. We do the full electrical in-house, and then we sub out the civil structural engineering to a trusted partner. And then for our distribution engineering, we do everything, civil, structural, electrical, for overhead and underground distribution all the way up to 69 kV. We also do street lighting in the distribution engineering. So some of our major clients for that subgroup are Hydro One, Toronto Hydro, and then we do some street lighting design for OTG. Also within the 4 to 11 group, we build and test relay protection panels. So moving over to 4205, 4205 is very informally broken up into commissioning and maintenance. So the scopes are the same between the two, but obviously we maintain one and commission the other. So we touch anything from 600 volts all the way up to 230 kV, 500 kV. We've been doing that for 15 years, started with Mr. Midledge. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking to you guys about the formal rotational program between 4211 and 4205. Given that we're both under the same umbrella now, it makes it really easy for us to bounce employees between the two departments. We're talking about the formal program, however, informally we're bouncing employees back and forth as we speak. Gotta remember to hit the button. Okay, so let's start with a need statement, why we needed to do this in the first place. Really, at the end of the day, we wanted high-quality engineers that have field experience, and we wanted an off-ramp for our commissioning and maintenance technicians to come back into the office and have a stable home life rather than being out on the road Monday to Friday. So getting into that in a little bit more detail, we wanted to create a well-rounded engineering technical services team that both has experience in the field and through the complete design phase. So like I said, it's really beneficial for engineers to understand physically what they're engineering, It's also super beneficial for the commissioning and maintenance teams to understand what it takes to engineer a project and that whole process from start to finish. Getting kind of repetitive here, but to foster engineering staff that have real world experience, again, we really want engineers to understand what they're designing. It's not a box on a piece of paper, it's really a gigantic circuit breaker that has lots of other implications. And then finally, we want to join the engineering and commissioning scopes to provide field commissioning staff with an off-ramp to an office environment and provide engineering staff the ability to gain field experience. So again, getting our engineers out in the field, but also getting our commissioning staff home after working on the road for potentially years and years to have a nice off-ramp there. So at the end of the day, the collaboration between these two groups, basically engineering is at the beginning of a project and commissioning is at the end. At the end of the day, it's BlackandMacdonald's responsibility to deliver a high-quality project from the start to the finish. So bringing as much synergy between these two groups as we possibly can, we find to be really beneficial to the overall project. So this is a very basic overview of the plan as it stands now. So when you enter the rotational program, which we're starting with new graduates right now, but Ryan's going to get to that a little bit more as we move on. But the first rotation, we start in the maintenance, because maintenance timelines, maintenance projects are usually very short. They're a day, they're a week, they're maybe 2 weeks. So you get a lot of exposure to a lot of equipment very quickly. After that, we move from maintenance into commissioning. So now you've seen the equipment, you understand how it's supposed to be working, but now we're going to move forward into the commissioning where you're going to be the ones turning it on for the first time. So you need to not only understand how the equipment works, but how it was designed to work, how it was supposed to be engineered, make sure it's testing properly before we in-service that. And now those two rotations will give the rotational candidates their field experience. After that, we're going to move them into the engineering department. So we're going to bring that physical understanding of the systems into the design phase. We're also going to bring the understanding of the commissioning life cycle into the engineering, and we're going to give that candidate an understanding, again, of what it takes to engineer this project in the first place. And then finally, Ryan's going to talk about this a little bit more, but we have an off-ramp for these candidates. So again, if you go through this program and you love commissioning, we're going to try and keep you in commissioning. If you go through this program and you want to get home and have a stable life, then we also have a potential off-ramp into engineering. So digging in a little bit more, the timelines and why we chose them for each rotation. So I kind of touched on this a second ago, but the maintenance rotation is the shortest rotation. You see a lot of equipment really quickly. Again, your project timelines are potentially days, weeks even. So you go from one project to another very quickly, and you see a lot of stuff, a lot of older equipment. So you get a wide breadth of exposure to the electrical industry very quickly. From there, we chose 1.5 years for the commissioning rotation. I think we kind of all know here, the commissioning timelines for a project can vary widely based on the scope of that project. It can be a couple months to potentially a couple years. So giving the candidate 1.5 years in that commissioning rotation gives a good potential of having them involved from the start to the finish of a commissioning project. And then very similar philosophy as we move into engineering. Same kind of story. An engineering timeline can be a couple months to a year plus. So once we chose 1.5 years for engineering, again, gives a better chance for the candidate to see a full engineering scope. So now we get a little bit more into the HR side of things. As we move from gate to gate, we want to come up with some kind of performance metrics, touch points with the employees, touch points with the managers. We want to be able to track how the candidates are moving through this program. So we have rotation gates as we go from one rotation to the next, and that consists of manager meetings and employee meetings. So manager meetings are their existing manager meeting their new manager, talking about performance, attitude, where the manager thinks they'll end up after the program, be that engineering, commissioning, or maintenance. And then there's also a touch point there with the new manager and the employee themselves. So employee performance and attitude metrics will then be passed on to whatever toolkit or system we end up implementing to track this, and that will obviously go into a final report, at the end of their rotational period. And then always on the docket for these conversations is the employee off-ramp. So that's a conversation not only at the manager level, but also the employee level to understand where the employee wants to go, but also where the employee likely best fits after this program. So now I'm going to pass it over to Ryan. Don't forget the button.
Yeah. All right, hello. So Greg spent some time talking about the overall division and why we decided to come up with this new rotational program. And I'm going to spend some time just going through the actual process and how it's come to life. So one of the first things that obviously we have to think about is the requirements for this program. So one of the big things that we wanted to touch on was the fact that we do not differentiate between a university graduate or a college level graduate. We strongly believe that everybody should be provided with equal opportunities and equal experience in order to grow them and also benefit the company. While going through the overall process, again, a lot of this is an entry-level position, so a lot of people are graduating, they just came out of college, maybe they just moved here as well, they're looking for experience, something of that nature. Obviously, they're not going to have a lot of experience. So some of the big things that we really look at as we're going through this process is personality traits. So some of them being high attention to detail, hardworking individuals, receptive to change or able to adapt in various situations, and just outgoing and eager to learn. So one of the big things that we keep talking about within the group is the fact that we can train people and we can teach people, but one of the big things that we wanted to touch on was we need people that are going to fit in with the group and overall fit in with the family that we've created here within the division. So with that, other way around, thanks. So a little bit about the actual interview process. So fortunately enough, we were able to work hand in hand a lot with the talent acquisition group through this process, May and Jess specifically. They helped us out a lot. So there was multiple stages to this process. First, obviously, being the initial screening from the team, and then if everything went well, they would come to us. We would go through a virtual meeting, and then just meet and greet, get to know them a little bit, talk about their resume, some of their experience, and then if everything went well, we would look to bring them in for a third interview, I guess you could say, really, and that would be the in-person interview. So that's where the candidates would come in, and then we would present them with a written technical test where they can showcase some of their knowledge, and then we would also ask them to come up with a new service or a product that they would bring to the market, whatever that may be, whether it's technical, something else. We really just want to get everyone talking and get them presenting an idea, see how they communicate, see how they deal with certain situations. After that, in the same interview, we would move on to a practical test, and that would be some wiring and understanding drawing. So what we would do, we would give them a drawing. It wouldn't be complete. We would throw in a couple curveballs to them, but we want to really see how do they go about stressful situations or challenging situations. By no means is any of it a pass or fail. We really just want to see how they can handle themselves and how they think outside the box in some of these situations. So again, Greg talked a lot about the program off-ramp. So that is something that we talk about a lot within the program is at the end of the road, what does the trainee want to be doing and how have they done and where are some areas of improvement and where are some of the strengths. And we go through all that with the trainee and we see if we can eventually at the end of the road match them with the overall business needs of the company. So the reality is there are business needs and we won't always be able to satisfy everybody, but we hope that at the end of it, we can try to work with the trainees and try to fit them in where they prefer it and also where they're most happy. So current status of the program, it's been really good this year. We've had a lot of good feedback from everybody, the trainees as well as the seasoned vets that have been here for a while. Nothing but positive outcomes from everybody, so they're all in the crowd, so thank you guys. But it's been really good. So since it was so good, we hired 3 people at the beginning of the year, and just recently we went through a whole other process again where we've recently taken on 2 new employees this week, actually. So we now have 5 new trainees this year, and we're excited to see where things go. Quickly before we move on to the next the slide, I think the video might be next, but one of the biggest things we wanted to touch on was the fact that this program we strongly believe is a really good idea, because we're not only hiring someone for a task or for the next project. What we really want to see is if this person fits in with our family and with the group that we've grown here. So again, touching on the personality traits, we wanted to make sure that we were bringing someone in that we can grow and eventually, hopefully, take our positions in a few years, and we can all grow the company. So with that being said, throughout the whole process, what's that? Yeah. So with that being said, throughout the whole process, we wanted to make sure that managers were involved with the overall process. We wanted to make sure there was many people throughout, and they weren't just talking with their direct supervisor and whatnot. We wanted to make sure we were all involved and we all felt good about who we were bringing on. And again, no regrets yet, so thank you. So the last one here is some of the, I don't want to really say challenges. I think we probably should have changed that, but just the overall process of the whole hiring process. So obviously it's a lot, right? And again, like I mentioned before, a big shout out to the talent team. They've helped us out a lot. As you can see here, when we first put out the posting, there was about 200, 300 applicants. So fortunately enough, May, Jess, they went through everything. And then we were able to narrow it down to about 35 interviews, which were the first phase. And then after that, I think we brought in about 15, 20 people in person to go through the wiring and the overall practical. So again, it's a long, drawn-out process, but we truly value it, and we think it's really going to benefit us in the end. Again, another challenge, I guess you could say, was just, again, finding the time to go through everything. Luckily, we couldn't have done it without them. But there was just timing and trying to get Greg, Arjun, all of us involved, because we wanted to be involved with the process. But at the end of the day, it was definitely worth it. And then obviously coordinating all the onboarding, bringing on new people, it's always a challenge, but it's been good so far. And then one of the last things is obviously the diversity. So fortunately here within the engineering department, we've been able to diversify and work with both genders, a variety of people, and bring those people into the team. And that's something that we really wanted to talk about too for the overall program, is that we wanted to make sure that we were continuing with that momentum to continue to diversify the group and hopefully grow it in a good way. So I think the next one is, we have a short video here. Greg's gonna try to get going for you. And a quick shout out to everyone on site too who's on the camera, so that working at Blue Star. Thanks, Greg.
bunch of different stuff electrical that probably would have taken me a really long time if I would have started anywhere else. So like I got to be on substations, I got to be around like Bombardier planes and whatnot. So it's a lot of different stuff you get to try and experience. So it's really cool.
It was just knowing that I was finally in the energy industry and I wasn't just doing a job that was a job. It was working towards something that was a career, and knowing that my job wasn't just like benefiting a small like minority, but a majority of people overall. It was nice to know.
I enjoy a lot actually. Before doing the graduation, it's like theory stuff. When I came back here, they were going through maintenance and engineering stuff. It's really interesting work. Like I'm here building the panels. The next week I'm going for the commissioning. The panels I have built it, I'm going for the commissioning. I tested them. Then I know that how the wiring or all the things are getting messed up and give a reliable connection to the substation.
I was always kind of more interested in the electrical field, and knowing that I was reaching the goals that I initially had, it was nice to, I don't know that I was here. Yeah.
Just the variety of things you get to try and things you get to see and the people you get to work with. You get to work all the way with engineers, from electricians to just regular office workers and whatnot, and it's super cool opportunity. You get to experience a lot of different knowledge and talk to a lot of different people. So
I guess is whenever you come to implement whatever you are designing, that's the most enjoyable thing you can have. I work with the engineering team, so I'm pretty sure that if I'm supposed to be doing this job at another company, I wouldn't be leaving my desk at all. So here I have the chance to actually go and see what I was designing, and it's gratifying just to see something working and working good.
Well, I think it's just like how exposed I've been so far with a bunch of different like aspects in the electrical industry. I feel like from this point in time that a lot of different companies wouldn't expose me this much.
We'll say flexibility. We are being asked to do different tasks, and I know that pretty much everybody in the team is able to do kind of anything we are assigned to do. So that's something you don't see everywhere. Partners that will join you and trying to explain you how to do it the best way you can do it. So I will have to say the people is another strong asset to our team.
I think you have a lot more freedom to move within the different divisions of the department, and the supervisors allow that, and they see your potential not just as an engineer behind the desk, but they see that you're willing to get into the field, get your hands dirty, experience what it is like implementing what you design, and that's been a standout for me.
Before joining this rotational program, just graduated from my university, and from the university I have learned a lot of theoretical thing, but by joining the ETS rotational program I learned a lot about practical skills, what I have learned through theoretical skills. That will be really helpful how the theoretical and practical things actually work out and how it's match up. This way you can learn all the things.
Yes, I've seen quite a bit of benefits here, mainly because the new guys that came on board have been exposed to some panel shop work, so getting the engineers to be hands-on and the technical guys to actually see the equipment that they actually design is a benefit for all of us. So that's the first exposure that I've seen. Yeah, definitely beneficial.
You know, if you don't have the rotational program, you will be only in one spot, and system is not one spot. System is a grid, and this grid includes so many equipment that maybe one very little part of that is relay, one little part of that is transformer, which is a big entity by itself, but still it is one. line is the same, switch is the same, capacitor is, everything is a small part of the whole. If you get to know, I don't mean to be expert in all of them, but no, if you know the relation of this equipment together and you feel them, you touch them, then you go, for example, you like transformer, then you know the things that are connected to transformer, what they are, because you have been in rotation, you have a good understanding what transformer can.
Some of the benefits I've seen in the rotation program is that it helps build confidence. I think with the type of work that we do in services, you need confidence.
Well, the new hires, I had some personal experience in the past with rotational programs, and I think it's beneficial because it will, first of all, get you out of your comfort zone of what you're expecting on your home base. So you'll see areas of our company that you normally would not have tangency with. That's important from two reasons. One of them is this: you'll expand your skill set, and the second one, you'll meet people that normally you would not meet. So those relationships will make the company overall more homogeneous.
Opportunity to collaborate and ask questions while still being trained. They will also gain experience and exposure to a wide variety of job sites and test equipment and troubleshooting scenarios.
This rotational program is a great idea. You get the taste of both worlds. You can see basically how a transformer works, and as inside that we're building protection panels, you can see how everything is wired. So this is great because as a rotation program, you're gonna have them rotating doing commissioning, doing maintenance, wiring, building. So it's good to know that they're having basically hands in the outside and the inside. So I think this is great for the new hires.
The best advice would be to be hungry to learn. To be hungry to learn. I think that's important, and also don't feel too shy when you don't know something. I think most people have your answers, and if you're curious enough and open enough to ask questions, even though they may seem stupid, you learn from it. I think that will be beneficial. But fundamentally, it's just be open to learn from other people that have more experience than you, and also. Like I said, they open up doors that you're not really expecting to open. That's usually a good attitude when you want to start your career in the beginning. And there's a lot to learn, so the more you learn, the more beneficial it's going to be for you and become a better asset to the company.
My new advice to have these new hires is that to have an open mind, to come here, basically be a sponge because there's a lot of things that we learned, especially in FSD. I've been here for, I would say, 9 years, and I'm still learning new things. So my advice is, guys, work hard, be a sponge, because there's a lot of, you can say, experienced workers here that they are willing to teach you, and there's a lot of knowledge here that I would say to those guys just to just be a sponge, basically.
I would say something that my colleagues would say as well. Always be willing to learn. There's always room for improvement, and no matter how old you are, there's always something new that you can pick up.
Yeah, just wishing them success, and hopefully they will be successful in what they are learning. But the first advice is that don't rush judging what you are doing. You may come, it's possible that you may come and start, you fall in love in it, and sometimes you think, no, it's not. Or you may not like it, and after some time you feel so good about it and you love it. So give yourself some time and see where you are. And the other thing is that I have been all my life in the field. And field work, nature makes you very strong, very strong. If you can understand what you are doing, you will love it, definitely. Definitely you will like it, you will love it. And don't be shy to ask.
has been great. I have the chance to learn all kind of new things to me. My background was focused before on material science engineering. I knew a little bit about control processes because that's something related to my field. So I guess I brought that experience with me, but other than that, it has been a great journey about learning like different aspects to this business. Being able to design something from scratch and then seeing it implemented is just amazing. It's just a feeling that you cannot describe with words.
Been one of the greatest work experience so far that I've had, being in the engineering department, being in the field with the field service division, as well as in the panel shop with Mr. Enriquez. It's been great so far.
Yeah, it's been a great opportunity so far. Like, more than just an opportunity, the people I've been surrounded by have been really nice. Like, it's not, some days it's not even seen as a job, but it's just like fun work, and it has been enjoyable. I have nothing to complain about so far, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, I'm loving it.
So thanks everybody. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to the team that's here. More specifically and additionally, thank you to the team that's not here. We have a large part of our team that's out in the field right now energizing equipment and working really hard. So we appreciate you guys very much. I guess before we go, are there any questions? Awesome.
Okay, that was excellent. The three of us actually had very similar trajectories. You know, when I graduated university, my alumni a lot of them were desk jockeys, and they used to ask me, you know, why are you running ground reels? Why are you painting transformers? It was tough, I'm not gonna lie. But now I'm able to challenge design engineers that are like 30 years senior to me, because I've seen things in the field, and that's kind of what we're trying to emulate with this program. We're trying to bring up young designers, young techs, young engineers, and show them the diversity of offerings that Black & Mac has. And you know, being an engineer looking into Black & Mac, we want to be attractive to people outside, right? And this is one thing that really would attract somebody, is the fact that we have these projects. And as we continue to grow and evolve, we get more complicated projects, right? So my team gets to work on very complex projects. It's very interesting. It keeps us engaged. You know, I very much love it myself, and that's why I've stayed. You know, right now we're doing Copeland, which is a very interesting underground substation near Ripley's Aquarium, first of its kind. So it's just, you know, it's just an amazing experience for new grads, for interns, for, you know, the entire team. So really appreciate the efforts that went into putting that all together, and the entire team that we have. I'll pass it on to HR, Huma.
Give me a second, guys. This is my first time. I want to make sure I don't make a mistake. So many people. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming in. I think that was a great presentation. How many of you guys think that was great? Right? It was, seeing new grads talk about stuff, what they're learning, I always enjoy it, and I truly enjoy construction. As most of you guys know. enjoy it so much that I pay attention like a little kid. So we're going to be moving up to our HR agenda. I'm not going to talk too much about, I'm awake. I'm not going to go too much into details. I do want to touch points on few items that I have seen within my 1 year of experience at BlackandMacdonald. The first thing that we're going to be talking about, oh man, I'm shaking. Hey. All right, the 3 points that I'm going to be talking about. Oh, before we start, I'm Homa Nasir, by the way. Southern Ontario Utility Region HR. If you don't know me, I support Sour and also the Northeast US side of the business as well. So if you have any questions related to HR, feel free to reach out to me. I will be here after my presentation. Brought some business cards. Very excited to give them out. If you guys have any questions, my information is there. Feel free to reach out to me. 3 points that we're going to be touching point on. It's employee survey. I've seen a lot of comments, so I wanted to clarify a few things on that. Second thing we're going to be touching base on is our diversity, equity, and inclusion that we just started. So just to give you some detailed information on who to reach out to, who to talk to, and how you can include yourself and be part of that group. Last but not least, as always, we're going to be talking about service awards. That's when I butcher names, and you guys can laugh. I'll try my best. I practiced, so I think I'm going to be good on that. But if I don't, I apologize in advance. So employee surveys, as everyone knows, that comes yearly basis. I realize a lot of people don't realize how important they are to us. We really look forward to your feedback. Some of the challenges that I saw recently, it's the first page of the employee survey. I don't want to do this one. Demographic, why do I need to put my information? Totally get it. What you don't realize that you don't have to provide me with that information. It's all upon your preference. What I would really need is just the division that you're in, so I can see which division is talking about what. And then the second and the third page is the most important part. Why is it important? We do strive on your feedback. What you tell us, we do look into it. I don't personally look into that because it's all confidential. We send envelopes, we send surveys, we request you to complete it, send it back to us. As soon as HR team receives them, we send that over to our third party. We work with our third party manpower, which is McLean and Company. Some of you might have heard about them when you started. You probably got new hire surveys. It's McLean and Company that combines all the data together and provides us with the insight of where we're lacking and where we need to actually make sure that our team is up to date on that and providing help to our team, whoever needs it. So please, I would encourage everybody, as we are going into the new year, our employee surveys are coming up. If you have not received it, let me know, I'll send it to you. I really want to hear back from our Southern Ontario Utility region to see where we are not doing a great job. It helps our young and upcoming DMs and all over our BlackandMacdonald as well to see how they can improve themselves. So please, they're coming in. Again, I kind of try to highlight the bottom part. It's anonymous. We do not get to see them. We do not get to read. You don't have to complete everything, so rest assured, I'm not looking at them, eating my popcorns, reading. No, none of that. Moving forward, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I wanted to talk about that. That's something you guys have probably seen. Some communication going out from our corporate and from ourselves as well for our diversity. We do actually have some members from our team here as well. Shout out to them for keeping it all together. Thank you for doing it. So the reason I wanted to touch base on that's something that companies have it, but we don't really discuss it. That's something we would like to make sure that as BlackandMacdonald, all of our employees are aware of this. When I talk about fairness, respect, and core values, fairness and respect have been core value of BlackandMacdonald since the organization's inception in 1921. Our ongoing success continues to be rooted in how we as an organization and as an individuals treat others and build positive, lasting relationships with everyone. And you've probably seen that even when I started, just walking down the hallway talking to everybody, I never felt like this is my first day. It felt amazing. Everyone knew me. I was not, and I say this again and again, I was not just a name on an Excel sheet that's just gonna be like, oh, this person works here. No, everyone knows me. And it makes me feel very encouraged to come into work every single day. I wanna promote that as much as possible, not just in the office, out in the fields as well, to make sure each and every one of us are included in there. Diverse, equitable, and inclusive. We believe that striving to a diverse, equitable, and inclusive company aligns with these well-established principles and makes us and our business better. How many of you guys agree with that? Show of hands. Awesome. That's how I know you guys are paying attention to me. Definitely, we strive for that, and we want to continue striving for that. And how can we do it? As a team. Our future goals, before we go into it, our goal as an employer, as Black & MacDonald, is to enable our people to flourish. We are strongly committed to providing every individual with an equal opportunity to meaningful work, to treat everyone fairly, and to sustaining a work environment based on mutual respect, integrity, personal fulfillment, autonomy, and trust. We did launch up our DEI since we started making it even bigger this year. Our enterprise-wide DEI committee has created a few guidelines for celebrating, acknowledging specific dates. Some of the dates I actually highlighted in our presentation here. Black History Month, International Women's Day, Pride Month, Truth and Reconciliation Day. If any of you guys remember, we did celebrate these. We did send out a different communication on this as well. If you have anything that you think should be part of DEI, please bring your concerns or any advice that you can give me, bring it up to us. We'd like to hear it, like to include you in it, and take your, dig into that brain and then try to make sure that we make everyone aware of that day. All right. So before we go into our service awards and about your names, in recent weeks with these 4 days, what we have done, I put together a little slide with some highlights of what we have done. Don't laugh at looking at some of the pictures if somebody doesn't look right. And I apologize if I put up a picture and zoomed into it. I tried not to. So some of these events that happen, and we're gonna continue doing this. We would like everyone to participate in it. And if you do want to participate and you are interested in volunteering as well, we're still working on building our DEI committee and working with the IT to get the email address going on as well. If you are interested, like I said, reach out to me and I'll forward that to our team and they will be in touch with you. You'll be involved in it. And I think it's a great experience to get to know everyone in your team as well, myself as well. So please, I strongly encourage everybody to be a part of it. Now moving forward to our awards, but before that, any questions? Awesome. I'm going to request Chuck if you could. If not, it's okay, we can. Perfect. Thank you so much, Chuck. And if I can get Jackie to help out as well. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So just before we start this, we don't have everyone here. If somebody's not here, I'll just put the award on the side and they can always come to me or reach out to me and I'll make sure that I give them the award. I didn't really take out any names because I wanted to recognize everything and everyone. We're working on making a better way of recognizing this. In case if I miss anybody, please feel free to reach out. I'm just a human. I make mistakes. If I have missed pronouncing anybody's name, I apologize. So starting off with John. Oh, I'm not saying last name, guys. I can't even pronounce my last name. So do we have John here? Okay. Well, congratulations to John that he's not here. Happy to have him on board. I know Ishmael is not here. He is away from the office, but congratulations for him being here with us. I got Craig. Craig, woohoo! Thank you, Craig. We got Ingrid, and that's from engineering group. Congratulations, Ingrid. Next, we have Poya from our NTO division. Woohoo! Guys, when I'm here for 5 years, that's what I want to hear. Go home, mom. I want to hear that. Congratulations, Poya. Next, we got Caesar. Woohoo! Congratulations, Caesar. We got Graham. Woohoo! Congratulations, Graham. Next, we got Matt. I don't think Matt's here. I know he's a little far working on the Sarnia side, so we'll hold on to that. Tinas. Congratulations to Tinas. He's probably not here, but we wish him all the best. Connor. I know Connor's not here, but yay, congratulations to Connor. Dennis. No? Okay. All right, congratulations to Dennis. Like I said, any of the names all here, 5 years within us, that's a long tenure. So congratulations to everyone for being here, supporting us. We do appreciate that. So a round of applause for everyone who completed the 5 years of Black & MacDonald. We're gonna move down. I don't think any of these guys are here, but I still want to say their name. Jordan, Brady, and Derek for being here for 10 years. Congratulations to them. And last but not least, I want to recognize some of the names that are into our next slides. These 4 employees have been here for a very long time, but due to our great technology, we ended up missing them. I want to make sure that we recognize this great milestone into their life, starting off with Kevin Josephs. Congratulations, he's been here over 20 years with us. Wow, how time flies. Dave Veniachi right there. Congratulations, over 20 years working as our estimating director. Woohoo! Yay! Aaron Sinclair, congratulations. Over 10 years working with Black & MacDonald. And Quentin Long. Congratulations to Quentin. He recently completed his apprenticeship and also been here with us for 5 years. So thank you very much, guys, for coming up and listening to us. We appreciate it. Any comments, concerns that would be after my presentation, please feel free to reach out to me. Might be a bit slow, but I'm gonna get there. Thank you. I'm going to pass the mic to Chuck because we gotta have. I was gonna pass it down to him.
All right, thanks a lot. Pretty incredible list of celebrations there. Oh, you're fantastic, thank you. It's really great to see everybody here. Geez, it was over 6 months ago the last time I was here, and unfortunately I missed the event in the summer, and I've been off for a little while recovering, as you can tell, from a funky knee, but I'm getting better. So my wife's finally kicked me out of the house, and I'm back to work now. So if you're wondering, why you saw me this week, that's the reason. She got tired of driving me around. It is really great to see everybody and to have the level of participation we've got here today and via the live feed. That's fantastic. I can't believe how much this venue continues to grow every time we get together, so that's pretty amazing. Before we get into that a little bit, I just wanted to highlight a couple of things. I know there's been a few announcements recently, and you're probably all wondering what's going on. All of a sudden there's some major leadership changes and restructuring in the group. If you wouldn't mind keeping the lights up a little bit for my old eyes, that would help, definitely, so I'm not squinting too badly. But you've seen some announcements on some changes with Steve and Afra now taking roles as regional general managers. We've actually split the region up into two, a transportation and a power region, and Steve and Afra are looking after those, Steve looking after power, Afra looking after transportation. And kind of in conjunction with that, we've made some other divisional realignment based on opportunities that have come forward. So we've got Taryn Joseph looking after the overhead lines group. He succeeds Jarlath, who has now moved over to Scarborough Subway. So we definitely thank Jarlath for all the good work and the foundational efforts he put forward to helping build that group. Anthony Glasgow is now taking over the MTO group, which is fantastic. Abdallah is going to be taking over substations, 4203. Jason's going to be looking after special projects, Jason Tangway. Mark Dimistrasco is going to be taking over Terran's portfolio on the streetlight side of things, and John Interbartolo is going to be looking after traffic and ITS. And you're probably going, wow, why all these changes? What's going on? Well, we're at a point in our growth curve where we've had some pretty amazing growth, and it's pretty explosive. And this is going to be my last year as your leader, so it was time to really look at how do we prepare ourselves best for the future. So it made the most sense to really look at building two focused business verticals so we could really focus on growing those operations. And that actually provided a lot of opportunity for all these names I just mentioned to grow. So we're really not fracturing the company or the region by any sense. We're actually growing it, and we're providing better leadership structure so that we can all do much better and the company can be more productive and flourish more in the future. So I hope that dispels any questions or concerns anybody has, but we're really poised for a period of extreme and amazing growth, and I just wanted to share that with you. And I think the people that we put in these leadership roles, I have complete confidence in their capabilities, and I know they're going to help take this organization to the next level. So I want you all to give them a hand and recognize the accomplishments they've made getting there. Okay, we can, I don't know if that leadership or the recent win slide can come back up there again. I think we lost her. All right, if it doesn't, I can just go through. Oh, okay, we're back to Kevin. And we didn't welcome new employees either, so just quickly, if this is your first quarterly meeting, please stand up. Welcome to BlackandMacdonald. I'm sorry I missed that. Okay, if we'll go to the recent wins there. So, you know, although you haven't seen me around much, the team below me has been working very hard and didn't miss a beat. So I want to say thank you for all the efforts that were put forward and making sure things ran seamlessly when I wasn't here. And we've had some pretty significant wins over the last few weeks and even since our last meeting. So I'll hit some of the key points, and there was a couple maybe that weren't on there that I'll kind of interject as well. So the first one on the list is the Maryvale Transformer Station. I know we've been tracking that for a very long time, and Abdallah and Steve were very fortunate to just be awarded an LNTP for that project, valued at approximately $65 million. So that's a pretty huge win. So thanks to all the efforts of not only the project teams, but also estimating. We worked very well together to put a winning proposal together, and that was a job a lot of people were vying for, and we won it, so that's pretty amazing. Hydro One has got so much work now, it's very disconcerting sometimes because, you know, Steve and I will go for planning meetings and they'll tell us, oh, there's 3 or 4 jobs coming and they'll be here, here, here. Next thing you know, they send out 5 tenders all at the same time. So there is so much work coming. We've had the good fortune of also winning the ESSA Transformer Station Control Building. So that was another nice win for Hydro One under Jason, and that's about a $5 million building project up in Barrie. And then with Terran, we continue to grow our distribution group there, and the opportunity is immense there. It could actually be bigger than anything else we're doing in our company in distribution if we play our cards right. So I know the distribution team's building a deeper resource bench, we're getting new equipment, and we're really poised to make Hydro One of our biggest distribution customers, and I think you're going to see some incredible gains in 2024 in that regard. One last one on the substation side was the Stelco Phase 2. You know, we've been working on that site for a long time. We completed the Phase 1 installation on their 230 sub, and more recently we've been successful on Phase 2, adding a second transformer and associated equipment. So it's nice to be there still. We've also had some pretty significant wins. I think Afra's probably had this job on his radar since I don't know how long, but the Garden City Skyway, which is a real crown jewel for us, we were recently awarded after having to bid it a second time. But that's one that's really going to add to our profile and our portfolio and really define us as an industry leader in the ITS market. So that's about a $3.3 million job, and congratulations to Afra and team for finally bringing that one home. The City of Mississauga, we were recently awarded the 2023 Supply Installation and Modernization of Control Signals, and that was a nice win at about $3 million, so continuing to add good backlog. And then more recently, we had a good win on the rail side with Metrolinx, about a $6 million win for the design and construction services for the Guelph Crossing Transport Canada upgrades and enhancements. So that's an excellent win for our rail group as well, and helps us build more capacity in that arena, so congratulations. I think based on what I see, the bid activity continues to maintain a very robust profile, and the backlog is continuing to be stronger through 2025 and well into 2026. So no shortage of work. You can see we continue to add more employees. This region's on fire, and we're just going to continue to grow. And I think the organizational changes that we're putting in place are only going to help us capitalize on this market that we find ourselves in. So good things are ahead, trust me. I guess we're going to do a draw prize for some tickets. Deb, maybe you can give me a hand with that. Perfect. Perfect. All right.
Okay, shake it up.
All right, we're going to draw the first ticket, and whoever the winner is that comes up, I'll ask you to draw the next one, okay? All right, everybody ready? The first ticket drawn is 939317. We have a winner. Check your ticket. 939. You are the winner. If you want to pull the next ticket, that would be great. Thank you. The next winning ticket drawn is 939427. 427. Another happy winner. Thank you. And then I'll get you to draw the next ticket. Thanks so much. The next winning number drawn is 939346. 346.
Oh, someone from the other side of the room. Great.
Excellent. We're mixing it up a little bit. Congratulations. And we'll get you to draw, I think that's the last one, isn't it, Deb? Oh, we got a couple of mugs too, yeah. Thank you. And the next winning ticket, drum roll please, 317754. 317754. There we go, Ben. Congratulations, Ben. And you want to pull for a mug? Yeah, we got a couple of mugs. Some bonus prizes to give out here. There we go. All right, for the BlackandMacdonald mug, 939359. 359. No takers? Yeah. Going once, going twice. We'll pull a new ticket. All right. One more time here. All right, make this one a winner. 939402. 402. There we go. Phil, big winner. Congrats, Phil. Thank you. I'll get you to draw the last one. We have one more mug. Thank you, sir. All right, and the last one, 317721. 721. Oh. Congratulations. Thanks. Okay, I've just got a couple of closing remarks before we break here. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming today. I think this was a great meeting, some good topics covered. And in order of thanks, first off, I'd like to thank Arjun and the Engineering and Technical Services Group for an awesome presentation. Good job. I'd also like to thank Al Downey for the tool room presentation. I'm sure you'll get lots of questions after this one. And of course, Wes, always thank you for your learned information that you share with us. And for Huma for the HR inputs. And I know not everybody was here for Tracy, but I do appreciate him coming in to talk about the National Project Management Manual, because it is a good tool and we have to use it. It helps protect us and prevents us from getting ourselves in bad situations. We need to use it. So let's make sure we're using that as a good tool to help us be more successful. You know, and I really just wanted to say, since I joined Black & MacDonald, my goal was always to have a fiscal year where we would be under 1 with our TRIR, and we haven't done that yet. So with this being my last year, I really like to see us hit that target. So I'm asking all of you to help me realize my goal and my objective in finishing this year below 1. And that's the challenge I'm putting out to all of you. So let's make that happen, okay? And I do have a Bill Murray moment. You've probably been missing that because I haven't been here for a little while. But Bill says, my brother Billy says, I'm not an alcoholic. I only drink 2 times a year, when it's my birthday and when it's not my birthday. So the second one's a little bit stretched, but so everybody go forward safely and with respect to your coworkers and your colleagues and live your life with joy. Take care.